why do we feel so stressed when we're supposed to feel happy?
The happiest time of the year is advertised for a month and you're not happy, then you start feeling like you're not enough. So if we have those expectations, we are set up for failure right away. Life, they don't stop. Kids still cry. Grandparents still shout. Stuff happens.
I enter any shopping mall, everything is decorated, so many lights, so many people, and even though I didn't do anything, just spending 30 minutes in such place makes me so tired.
Everything that we do when we take a loan from our body, we're gonna have to pay it back. That's the bank that always asks it back. Just let you be you. Let's make our Christmas about us. Let's not try to copy other people's lives.
Hello to all listeners. It's our second episode here on Pulsetto podcast. And today I'm your host, Gabriele from Pulsetto marketing team. And we're gonna dive into a very important topic that touches so many of us during the busy season of the end of November and all December, which is holiday stress. And here with me today, I have Monika Savičė, who is cognitive behavior therapist, and she's gonna help us to break the questions of why we get into this stressful mode around Christmas and New Year and other celebrations in this period, and how we could help ourselves to make it go easier, So hello, Monika, how are you doing?
Hi, Gabriele. I'm doing fine. Thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty nervous actually, but at the same time, very proud of myself because I've never hosted podcast before. And, Pulsetto gave me this opportunity. So I said, yes, I want to try this new role,
Very nice. Congratulations on your first time. Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
All right. So my first icebreaker question would be, during the holiday season, we're supposed to be very happy, very joyful. It's advertised as like the most happy time of the year. Halloween decorations are removed from the stores and we instantly put Christmas decorations, start listening to Mariah Carey and all these happy people from social media and billboards are smiling at us. So why do we feel so stressed when we're supposed to feel happy?
Well, I think first problem is that we are not supposed to do anything, but advertising makes us feel like we do. Because it's a period of time. It's like a month or even more. The festive season for some countries is even longer. And if we're supposed to do something for a month, that's very tough. Because life, they don't stop. They go on. Kids still cry. Grandparents still shout. Parents still call every day or something. Stuff happens. And if we're supposed to be happy, because that's actually a thinking error, that we're supposed to do something because we're not supposed to do anything, that makes us believe like we're worse or that we're not enough if we're not like that. Right? So if true happiness is advertised for a month and, it's the happiest time of the year and you're not happy, then you start feeling like you're not enough. And once you start feeling not enough, then you start criticizing yourself, and it starts a loop of you feeling worse and worse every day. So I would like to, change that we're supposed to be happy into it's nice if we're happy. It's super cool if we're happy. But if we're not, that's fine. Okay, it's still a festive season, even if you're not happy.
But we live in such rhythm year after year, generation after generation, that we're supposed to be happy during the season, that it's impossible to see it other way around.
It's not impossible. Nothing's impossible. But it's hard to change the narrative. It's hard to change the narrative. I really agree with that. But I would like to change the narrative to we're supposed to be together. We're supposed to be close. I'd like us to be more human to human, like Christmas and other festivities, they didn't start because of the gifts and everyone being happy. That's not the idea of it, but it grew into it. And it gave us the idea that, we always have to be super happy. But life is not only about happiness. And it can be the greatest season of the year, even if you're not, smiling 24/7.
All right.
So I would like to just normalize that, that.
So today we're just gonna normalize that Christmas might be stressful, and that's okay.
Of course, absolutely. We're gonna normalize all of
Let's
things,
do that.
I think, but that's the first one. Yeah.
And that's cool. So how would you distinguish just regular daily stressors, right, from stressors that come on this particular period of the year?
Well, I would say that daily stressors, they're very individual. We have very different lives and each of us have very different stressors. If you have a baby, that's one type of stress. If you're studying, that's another type of stress. And that's very normal, to have different stressors. On holiday seasons, we all have kind of similar one big stressor, that's the holiday season. And it's very easy to compare yourself to the others. Right? Because if I'm just going on about my day, I probably don't really care what my neighbor is doing. But if it's a festive season and my neighbor is decorating and I see that he's buying a lot of gifts and he has family over and this and that, it's a lot tougher to not compare yourself. And I'm talking real life example. If we're talking about social media, that's even tougher to not compare your everyday December festivity, elf on the shelf, or like advent calendar or something like that. It's very easy to fall into the trap that I'm supposed to do things like they're doing because they're happy and that would make me happy as well. And it's much easier to forget yourself and your routine in all that noise.
So what you're saying, more like daily stressors, they're very individual, but when it comes to holiday stressors, we all fall under the same stressor.
Most
right?
of us, right?
Yeah, all right. And I want to talk a little bit about the biological markers of holiday stress and stress in general. And
Right.
for me personally, and for so many of Pulsetto users as well, the biggest health issue, I don't want to call it an issue because it's just a part of life, is our circadian rhythm, especially when we go to sleep, how well we sleep. And with holidays, with Christmas, New Year's, a lot of traveling abroad comes, right? A lot of sleeping in late or not sleeping at all. On top, we have, a lot of food, maybe even alcohol, and our rhythm just gets way worse, and it takes so much time to get back on feet after these couple of weeks, basically.
Yeah, if you have a rhythm, then of course you go off it, but a lot of people don't have a rhythm, so they just, make it worse, the thing that was already not so good. So sleeping in and going to bed too late, of course, has an effect on our health and it has an effect on our hormones. That's very normal because like there is cortisol, there is melatonin, there are other hormones that one hormone is supposed to wake us up, the other one is supposed to help us fall asleep. But if we travel across, the Atlantic, if we go to other continents or even other countries, we go to sleep when we're supposed to wake up and stuff like that. So it makes us feel not so fresh every day. And, of course, with alcohol, food and stuff like that, it's even tougher to be fresh. And, everything has a price. And that's literally that everything has a price, but everything we do has a price as well. And the price we pay is usually in the depth of our health. So, for example, if you do a lot of things during the festive season and you don't sleep enough and you eat not very healthy, you're gonna get through.
That's common.
That's very common. You're gonna get through, but you're gonna pay the price for it. And the price might be insomnia later, might be, you feeling very tired in January and things like that. So everything that we do when we take a loan from our body, we're going to have to pay it back. That's the bank that always asks it back. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very slippery period because, you could work for a year on your sleep patterns, on your nutrition, etc. And like 1 week and it all could go,
If you've worked for this for the whole year, I wouldn't say that it's going to go all bad during the festive season. It's going to be a bit tough afterwards, but if you know how to get into your rhythm, you're going to get back. I mean, it's how people usually do it. It's not like it's going to ruin
what would you
everything.
suggest for people who, wants to keep themselves fresh and rested during this period, right? But still maybe enjoy some party and...
Well, my advice would be manage your expectations.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to
Makes
be,
sense.
if you want to go to a party, that's okay, that's fine. But don't expect to be fresh as a cucumber the next day, and that's okay not to be fresh, every day. And during the festive season, people sometimes they want to be fresh every day because they want to do so much,
And they want to look great.
and they want to look great all the time. Yeah, but it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to sleep less and the other day be a bit calmer. That's fine. Because I think the other thing is FOMO, fear of missing out. We are
Yes.
scared to miss things out, to miss things that are very important, interesting, and but it's okay to miss out. It's okay to miss out, and well, for me, it's usually pleasure of missing out. I love missing out, but it's okay. It's okay to be human. It's okay to be tired.
Mm.
It's okay to be not okay the other day. It's okay to party and then the next day start your self-care routine again. I mean, it's all fine. But if we have an expectation that there's something we can do to party for a month and be all fresh, well, that's not going to help us a lot because we can't. We are only human, all of
That's
us.
true. Not only our circadian rhythm gets worse, but also our brain, I would say, get overstimulated. And I know this from my own personal experience because I'm a highly sensitive person, right? I enter any shopping mall, any major street in my city, right? Everything is decorated. So many advertising lights, so many people, and even though I didn't do anything, just spending 30 minutes in such place makes me so tired that I just want to go and cover myself with a blanket and, don't go anywhere out for one day at least. So let's talk a little bit about how our brain reacts to these holiday stressors.
Well, I would disagree with you on this one. On the case when you said you didn't do anything, because
Oh,
if you
yeah.
go somewhere with a lot of bright lights,
Mm,
with a lot of commercial, with a lot of people, your body does a lot of things. First of all, it gets a lot of information, right? So your eyes, that's one of the stimuli. It has to look everywhere. That's the first thing. Then you hear a lot of noises, so your ears are working too. Maybe it's cold, so your skin is working as well. So your body is working very hard to process all of the stimuli to make sure, okay, that's important, that's not important, that's to me, maybe that's a gift from my dad, or maybe this and this and that and this. We're thinking that's a lot of work. So no wonder we're tired after that, right? Because it's a work. It's work, even though it seems like we're not doing anything, just walking. But walking by itself is also work, right? So that's the thing. And how to get easier, how to get by easier is, you have to get ready to work, right? Like if we're
mm.
thinking, like for example, today we are filming a podcast, right? And I had to get ready because it's very normal. I'll have to talk. I'll have to be very sharp. I knew that. That's logical. That's common sense. And I got ready. So I slept enough. I ate well. I had my Pilates session. That's a must. I had a bath. I prepared my body. It's gonna be tough. You're gonna be tense. You're gonna be talking for 2 hours straight, or something, or more or less. And I prepared myself. So the same way we can prepare ourselves for festive seasons. If you wake up in the morning and you have a 30-minute walk in the forest or just around your house, you're gonna prepare yourself, and that stimuli is not gonna be as harsh because your nervous system is gonna be a bit more regulated, right? So for some, it's gonna be a walk in the park. For other people, it might be a short meditation or something. For other people, it might be a bath, a gym session, or something. So you just have to know that. Holiday season takes a lot of your energy, and to have enough energy you have to fuel your body, right? So basically get ready to work.
All right, so it's a work. Actually, I love this approach that, buying gifts and being around this all stimuli is a work. And I would say, even though we get prepared for work,
Right.
at work also sometimes things that we didn't plan happen. So it's
Absolutely.
same with the festive season. We go to the
Yeah,
city to meet with the friends, to buy the gifts. Everything is overstimulating. And even though we're prepared, we still can have a crash.
absolutely.
What to do then when the brain is just can't function anymore?
Then you rest.
Right.
Then you rest.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
very
only
important.
answer.
We forget it. I mean, it's so simple, but we always forget it. What to do with my brain when it's tired. You rest. I mean, you rest. You turn your phone off. You have an evening off. You don't watch a movie. You read a book for a while. You go for a short walk in the evening. You talk with your spouse. You talk with your mother. You talk with your child. You spend time that fills you up. You rest. You sleep enough. You eat a nice dinner. You help yourself.
But then again, I can't do that during the season because, hey, tomorrow is another dinner. Hey, I forgot to buy a gift for I don't know, the friend that I haven't seen for a year, and she's flying in the country. And there's constantly something to do. my brain already crashed, and I still have a big list of to-dos during the season.
Well, the things that are on to-do lists are supposed to be the things that we want to do, right? So if we prioritize sleep and if we prioritize rest, that doesn't mean we're not going to get those things done. Usually that means we're going to get those things done faster and better. So if you need a gift and, it's a friend you haven't seen for a while, maybe you can make a gift. Maybe you can buy a gift with her. Maybe a gift can be, you paying for dinner. I mean, you can get creative with it. If you don't have energy and, you're going to go all tired and buy something just no matter what to that friend, it's not going to be as, soft, and it's not going to be a sign of love. It's just going to be a duty. I have to buy you something to you because I haven't seen you for a while. But if we remember that it's okay to feel the way we feel, and it's okay to improvise, it's okay to think of things, it's okay to be honest. You know what? I'm very tired. I didn't give you a gift, but I want to give you something, so I'm just gonna do that later. Is that okay with you? It's fine. I mean, it's we can do that. It's not like a rule, because sometimes during festive season, it seems like people have a rule book, which I don't have. So maybe I'm just the outcast. But people have a rule book how everything's supposed to be. But it's not supposed to be anyhow. It's supposed to be the way you want it to be. And it's okay.
Who made this rule book, though?
Yeah, I mean, we all did as a society, I suppose. But we forget that it's not a real rule.
And it's perfect with this answer of a rule book, right? We can dive into the second topic of our podcast, which is not biological, but psychological state during this exact period, and what do we feel and how we behave. That's very important, and I'd like to start from perfectionism, especially for me as a woman. My gifts has to be wrapped very well. I have to look really nice. My food has to be the most tasty, and it's again about expectations, and I get it. I try to manage it, but at the same time, as you just mentioned, like at the beginning, I see what my neighbor is doing. I see what that influencer on social media is doing, and it's never enough.
Right. Maybe it's a time to introduce the concept of thinking errors.
What is that?
That's a CBT thing. It's everything we think is not true. Like, not everything we think is true. Maybe it's a better way to say it, right? Because sometimes we believe that if we have a thought, that's going to be automatically true. Because it's a thought; it's supposed to be true, but it's not. Right? Our thoughts are just the conclusions from all the stimuli we're getting. And we're getting a lot of stimuli, our eyes, our ears, our, thoughts. It's a lot of things to combine. If you combine a lot of things, you can get a lot of different conclusions. And that's
and a lot of thoughts.
And a lot of thoughts, right? And some of them are just wrong, right? Some of them are just wrong. They're just not true. And it's hard concept to grasp. But for example, one of the thinking errors is I have to. Right? Because if we keep on saying to ourselves, I have to do this, I have to, we start believing that we really have to do this. But that's a thinking error, right? And if we keep on thinking with I have to statements, our body gets tense, our emotions gets, we get anxious, we get angry, we get sad, we get a lot of things. And then we reinforce those thoughts, and we have a never-ending circle of anxiety and, insomnia and sleep, things like that. So with thinking errors, it's important to catch them, right? And then to be able to question them. So as you said, as a woman, I have to this. You don't have to do this. If you want to, that's great. That's amazing. That's fine. Let's do this. You do you, right? But if you don't want to, you don't have to. Right? There are another thinking errors, but perfectionism, as you mentioned in the beginning, perfectionism is a very wide phenomenon. It's not just thinking errors. It's the way we were raised. It's the way we can tolerate our emotions. It's the environment. It's the social media. It's a lot of things. Right? And for some people, it gets worse during the festive seasons because, they get a lot of stimuli the way they're supposed to. They have to do something, so that reinforces their thinking errors. And also, it's the expectation, of other people. And it's also meeting a family you haven't seen for a while and want to do an impression and stuff like that. So it reinforces perfectionism in a way, like in this way sometimes, but for some people, it doesn't.
Maybe you have some example from your clients, patients, right, who broke the perfectionism of exactly this Christmas period.
Oh, who broke? You mean who
Who
are not
just,
doing it perfectly anymore?
Yeah, but who just woke up one day and realized that, I don't know, I just don't need to do what I thought I have to do perfect. What helps them usually? What helped
Yeah, you usually don't wake up with a thought like that. No, that
it's
doesn't work.
a long years of therapy usually.
Okay, it is some therapy that usually happens there. But with perfectionism, it's the thing that if we get it perfect, that's very nice. Perfect is nice. I mean, perfect is pleasant.
Oh,
But
yeah.
getting it perfect is usually not worth it. And that's the thing we forget, right? And the other thing, we cannot tolerate of it being not perfect. And because if when things are not perfect, we get a lot of emotions, and a lot of people, they cannot tolerate emotions that they're having. So we want to avoid those, and it's easier to avoid by trying to get it perfect than learning to be with your emotion, than learning to be mindful with your emotions, right? So perfectionism is, we are avoiding the unpleasant, because if it was possible to make it perfect, to make anything perfect, that would be so nice. I would like to do that, but it's impossible, right? You cannot get it perfect. Nothing can be perfect, because life isn't perfect, right? So that's the stride for the impossible, and that's why we keep on running to the hill that never ends, right? So that's why with a festive season, it can never be perfect because something is always gonna crash, burn, not show up too late, buy a wrong present or something. So if we have those expectations, we are set up for failure right away. But I do have a lot of stories. I've had a lot of patients, clients who were perfectionists, and I've helped them. And the best thing to do when you're a perfectionist is to make a mistake and be with it. Yeah, I actually made an Instagram.
I burned
post,
my Christmas dinner. I just have to be with it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's one thing. That's a bit extreme, but I made a post about it, about perfectionism last week, and I made a mistake in it. And in the beginning, it wasn't intentional. But then I was like, that's perfect. I made a mistake. And mistake is in the title, so the first slide. And I posted it. I posted it with a mistake in it. And I was there and I was looking at myself, and my inner critic was like, yeah, you're going to look so dumb. That's wrong. That's horrible. Don't, oh my God, you're wow. And I was just there. I was like, okay, if it happens. I was just there.
With your mistake.
I was just there with my mistake. There was me and that mistake. And later on, one follower actually found a second mistake. That was great. And I was sitting there with two mistakes. And that's okay to feel anxious, what other people are going to think, to feel a bit sad. But then like 5 minutes passed and I forgot about it. Right? So that's the way, that's the exposure to mistakes, exposure to not being perfect. That really helps. We have to learn to let go. You have to learn to not be perfect. Maybe not to burn dinner because, well, maybe that's not the best time to do exposure therapy. But maybe not buying the perfect gift. You can start from one gift that's not going to be perfect. You could buy one gift that's just good enough. You could make one gift that's just good enough. You could make the salad just good enough. Because people are going to eat it in 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be perfect. True. It can just be good enough. But I don't advise people to start doing it, extremely, because that would be trying to do exposure perfectly as well. You don't have to fail everything during the festive season. That's extreme. Don't do that. But start from small things. Maybe don't handwrite the notes. Maybe just type them. Maybe don't wrap the present. Just buy the bag. Maybe don't make a 15-course meal. Make 14-course meal. Or 13-course meal or whatever number of courses you have usually. Or just order, order Chinese or order takeaway, order something. That's fine. It's okay. It's not going to make the festivities less festive if you just let yourself be the way you want to be.
All right. You just basically need to allow yourself to do mistakes. And if mistake happens, just be with it here and now. It's okay. The world didn't stop just because it happened.
Right.
And, and one more thing I think to remind for our listeners is that it's not forever. The season of holidays is not forever. Even if you did mistakes with gifts, with decoration, with your outfit, whatsoever, it will end very fast. It's just a lot of little things in a very short period of time. It's gonna end.
Nothing lasts forever, and
Yeah.
time passes by so fast.
Yeah.
So no one's gonna remember our little mistakes, and no one's gonna remember our big mistakes as well.
Mm.
People remember the feeling they had with you. People remember the way you talked to them, the way you made them feel. They don't remember I don't remember anything I got last year from my friends. I mean, but I remember the dinners. I remember the laughs. I remember that what I felt with them.
Yeah.
Because that's the way we collect moments.
That's
not
true.
things.
If somebody would ask me to make the list that of all of the gifts I received in past 10 years from my friends and family, I wouldn't even remember much.
That would be
I'm sorry.
impossible.
I'm sorry, family and friends.
The
but
presents were
that's
great,
true.
though. Thank you.
Yes. All right. What other thing arises with perfectionism and without, of course, is it's the guilt. If I make a mistake, I feel guilty that maybe it made others feel bad. Let's say, right? I bought wrong gifts for my kid, or maybe, I didn't have enough money to buy the gift he wanted. And I failed like a mom, I failed like a wife, I failed like a friend if I didn't do something that is, a norm in our society, right?
Guilt is a learned emotion, and it's a strong one.
Yeah.
And learning to feel guilty and not doing anything about it is tough, but it's also very essential, right? Because if you're feeling guilty, guilt is a good emotion. Because if you're feeling guilty and you did something bad, well, thank God you have guilt, because you're gonna change your behavior next time, right? So that's okay. But if you feel guilty and you didn't do anything bad, that's where the problem arises, right? And if you're feeling guilty because you didn't buy the presents your kid wanted because you didn't have enough money, then the problem is you're thinking that you can only show love with presents. And it's your thinking that your child is going to love you less because you bought them something less. That's, again, a thinking error.
But if child makes a tantrum
Well,
and
children,
fuels your guilt.
well, yeah, children, they're gonna make tantrums about everything. That's okay. That's the way they show emotions. That's the way they show that they didn't get the gift that they wanted. That's not the way they show that you don't love them. Because little children are gonna say like, "I don't love you" on a daily basis, and that's okay. That doesn't mean they don't love you. They love you like the most in the world. But bigger children, they're not gonna make a tantrum about it, right? But it's just that idea that I can, buy their love. That's wrong. You can't. It's not about it. And there are other sources of guilt as well. And people do a lot of things to avoid guilt.
For example?
Like they buy the most expensive presents they can, and they take loans to buy those presents to not feel guilty that they didn't visit their parents often enough, for example. Right? I mean, the thing is, if you learn that it's okay to feel guilty, I mean, it's okay to say it out loud even. Like, I came here, I love you very much, and I feel a bit guilty. I haven't seen you enough last year. That's a very cute statement. They're going to love it. I mean, and if you buy them the most expensive presents that you can, they're probably going to love it, but not so much. Like not as much as your honest feeling, your honest emotion, the raw emotion that you can give them.
Okay. And you started to talk about family a little bit already. And it's also very important. And for me, as a adult child, my both parents are still pretty young. And, I'm also a child of divorce. So for me, I have to go to two families. I have to. I said it again. I don't.
You choose
First
to.
of all, I choose to go to visit both sides of the family, but it gives so much pressure because I feel like it arises the worst of me and my parents. We start to fight over the same things we used to fight when I was small, let's say, or we have opinions of how, I don't know, perfect table should look like or something. But I'm adult, and my opinion now is not, let's say, validated because my parents still sometimes see me as a small child. And this all dynamic just gets a little bit harder during the holidays when we're in the same place, in the same house. What happens?
So our brain, it actually works in autopilot, right? So like if we're walking, our brain has already thought of all the steps we're gonna, make in the next few minutes. Because if we had to think over every single step we're gonna make, we would walk forever. We would never get anywhere. So our brain, it works in autopilot, right? If it sees a familiar situation, we already know what we're gonna do. I already know this. I'm just gonna do this and that. I'm just gonna say this and that. That's how it usually works. And with childhood homes, there are coping strategies that helped us when we were children, right? Maybe it was to avoid conflict for some. Because as a child, you want your parents to love you. And if you got into a lot of conflicts with your parents and then you felt like they don't love you anymore, then maybe you learn to avoid conflict so they wouldn't shout at you and you feel like they would love you. Maybe to some, it's, being super extra and always getting their attention because you constantly felt that they're not giving you enough attention. And you're always very provocative there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe to some, it's just constantly arguing with your mother because that's the only way you feel like she hears you, right? So there are patterns, the things we learned as children that helped us. And when we're adult, it's important to be mindful. Is it still helpful, right? If I'm doing this and I am doing this again, is it helpful? And why am I doing this? Because sometimes it's still helpful and that's okay. Then you keep on doing this. But if it's not helpful anymore, then, you can't change your parents. We can't change anyone else. But we can start from ourselves and asking ourselves, okay, my mom told me to put the plate there, but I don't want to. And I'm very angry. Why? Why was it so triggering? Do I feel like she doesn't respect me? Or, do I feel like, because it's probably not about it, right? It's probably just about the plate and, her vision of the plate. But we have, a lot of small details that we pick up and we pick them up as triggers if we go into autopilot, right? Because our brain sees it, oh, you have been here and I have to shout back because, before it helped and she heard me then.
Okay.
But maybe it's not helpful anymore. So just being mindful, you don't have to change the family dynamics all at once. First step is always being mindful. Okay, I'm doing this again. Why am I doing this again? Like why? Like not why they're doing what they're doing, because you're not gonna know. You have to ask them, for to get an answer. But you can always ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why I get into this? Why do I feel like I have to do something? Where is it coming from? Is this coming from me? Is it my thinking errors? Is it my beliefs? Or is it coming from them? Do they have a certain expectation? How do I feel about not meeting their expectations? Like it's very complicated. The family dynamics is very complicated. But usually, if it's the same way it used to be, then it's because you go into autopilot and being mindful of what's happening. That's the best thing we can do.
So before entering your childhood home for holidays, remind yourself just, hey, try to catch the situations,
Try not to be perfect about it.
Yeah, but try to catch them, and look from perspective, not
Try to.
yeah,
Right.
try not jump straight into the emotions that we supposedly learned
Right,
already.
most of them, yeah.
But for some people, it's barely possible to visit their childhood homes, their parents, right? For adult children, because these emotions really get in the way, and there's door slamming, yelling sometimes, and so on. And also guilt comes with it. We talked a little bit about this, that, hey, I'm not going to visit my family for Christmas. I want, but I won't because I want to avoid conflict. What would you suggest for people who are in this situation? Because it really happens.
We don't have to go to our parents if we don't want to. If it's a toxic environment and if it's harmful, if there is abuse or something, you don't have to go. It's okay. You have to protect yourself. You have to protect your children. You have to protect your spouse. It's okay not to go. But if I want to go, but it's difficult to,
Mm.
then maybe we should start working up with our relationship with our parents a bit earlier than Christmas. Because it's hard to do
That's
it
true.
in a month. Like
Mm.
we just have to think of the things that okay, what triggers me the most, what my mom does, and why. Like why is it a trigger? If someone else did it, would it be a trigger? That's what psychotherapy usually is for. Just analyzing yourself, what your triggers are, and what can you do to help yourself. But I wouldn't say do it during the festive season, because that's another stimuli that we don't need at this time. I would just say if you feel uncomfortable, leave. It's okay to leave. It doesn't make you a bad person. If you feel like someone is crossing your boundary and it's hard to set the boundary, it's okay to leave. It's okay to, sorry, I'm just leaving. It's fine. But giving ourselves grace and giving ourselves space to just be and do the things that make us feel better, that protect our, family, it's okay to do them. We don't have to be in the pain just for the sake of, sitting for 5 hours with our parents.
Even though society says it's a family, holiday.
Well, some people are gonna say it.
Yes,
Well,
of
some people are not
course.
gonna say it.
Maybe your grandma will say, "Why are you leaving?"
Oh yeah, maybe your grandma. Yeah, but your grandma might say a lot of things,
That's
and
true.
that's okay. I mean, a lot of things she might say about our computer are very
Yeah.
not up to date. Let's just say it very softly. Love you, grandma.
Mm.
But it's okay. It's okay to disagree. It's okay that we are not responsible for how other people are feeling, right? So if we're gonna do like very gently, not being rude and screaming back, no, that's not okay. It's never okay. But if we're gonna be very gentle and other people are gonna be mad, it's okay. Let them. It's their emotions. They're supposed to,
Mm.
learn to be mad. It's fine. We can get mad. Anger is a great emotion, right? Other emotions, anxiety is a great emotion. Let them be anxious. Let them be sad. Like it's gonna pass. Emotions, they come and they go. But if we feel like we're responsible, to make everyone feel good all the time, that's with the people pleasing, then that's a bit tougher because that's impossible. And then, we don't forget ourselves. We just put ourselves in the last place. And then we suffer. Then we pay the price. We give our energy for free and then we pay the price. And the prices, well, they're not pleasant and they're expensive.
I would add on top, for me, what helps is the thought that I'm an adult child.
Right.
I can do what I want,
Yeah.
It's just that thought because with adulthood, right, when you're adult, as a normal adult person, you're responsible for your actions. You can do whatever you want. I can sit in the car if my, let's say, family starts yelling or fighting, or I don't like something, it gets toxic, I can just leave. And it's my choice. As an adult person, I made that choice because when I was 5 years old, I couldn't just get in the car and leave. But
Absolutely.
I'm not 5 years old
Yeah.
anymore. So
Maybe
yeah,
setting a
this,
screensaver with that phrase, I can
yes.
choose. It's my choice. Or, I'm
Yeah.
an adult now. That could
That's a
help.
quick, nice tip before visiting your childhood home for Christmas, especially if you have a harsh relationship with your family.
Another tip would be if you, for example, traveling with your spouse, just to inform them, how could they help? Because sometimes we get very stressed, and once we're wrapped up in an emotion, it might be hard to leave. But if our spouse is informed, then they know, like, are you okay? Because if you're not, we can just leave. Remember, like
Oh,
it's easier for them to see it from a perspective. Because if it's not
yes,
their parents, if it's
yes.
their parents, it's their problem. Then we can help them. It goes both ways.
That's true. Okay, let's go to the third segment, which is financial anxiety and comparison culture. I think it's very important because we live in a society where we gather a lot of information, especially during the season. We watch social media basically every day, at least me, I don't know. But, one thing is feed my Instagram feed in the middle of, let's say, summer. Another thing is my feed at the late November or December when I feel pressure to spend more. And what I mean by that is there is a feeling, the urge to keep up with the trends, with the with what's popular. And again, it goes to perfectionism in a way because we all want perfect gifts. But why is that financial pressure is like number one stressor during holiday? And I didn't come up with it myself. It's actually statistics in US show this.
I wouldn't say it has to do with perfectionism. I think it has to do with feeling enough. Because
Mm.
if we don't catch up with the trends, if we don't spend enough, then we're bad, we're not enough, we're not good people, we're not good spouses, we're not good parents, we're not good something, right? So it's just about trying to buy the self-worth, which doesn't work that way, obviously.
Mm.
And my advice, why is the financial stress there? Well, you just answered, because we feel like we have to spend a lot of money on gifts to be enough. Like, we make ourselves feel that, basically, because we look at the ads. Because all the ads, that's noise. And if you don't feel comfortable seeing other people buying gifts, it's okay to unfollow them for a month. You can unfollow them
Mm.
forever, of course, but it's okay to control the information that reaches you, right? So it doesn't make you a bad person, even if it's your friend. Like, you can even explain to them what made you feel. That would be very mature, right? But controlling the information that reaches you, that would be a great tip how to how to avoid it. But a lot of people feel like if they don't buy something because they see it on the ads, if they don't buy a new thing, if they don't buy the most expensive thing, they're not gonna be a good parent. They're not gonna be a good spouse. That's again the good enough trap, right? Like, I have to spend this to be enough of a human being, which is not true. We don't have to spend. We can make our gifts. We can thrift our gifts. We can, we can be very creative with it. But well, the statistics don't lie. A lot of people even take up loans to buy, the gifts, to
Mm.
buy many gifts, because it's nice to get a gift. We get a dopamine surge from that, but it passes by very fast. And the financial, why is it a strain? Because everything we spend, we have to pay back.
Mm.
If we spend our savings, if we take a loan, if we spend more than we had, then we have to pay it back. And pay it back is tough because, we have to take it from the other month. So it depends on our wage and depends on our financial situation. That might be tough.
And what about buying exactly what we don't need? That's also very common during the festive season, I would say, because you go to the mall or order something online, like, okay, I'm gonna buy a gift for my mom, but then you see something else, and you don't need it. But usually we have, sales around this time of the year, starting Black Friday. Then we have some season sales for clothing, etc. And it just since I'm spending already, let's spend more.
Right. Retail therapy, right?
Retail
Uh,
therapy.
Retail therapy makes us feel good in the moment. That's why we do it.
Yeah.
It does make us
How
feel
to
good.
stop
And
this,
we
especially during these, Black Friday and seasonal sale.
well, my answer is plan. Plan,
Mm.
plan, plan. Well, I'm the odd one because I already have my Christmas presents. I buy them in November, like October most of the time, but this year I'm late. I'm buying them in
Okay.
November. Why? To not have the pressure on, because when everyone is thinking about Halloween, I'm thinking about my gifts. It's quiet then. You just think about the person you wanna, buy the gift to, but you don't have to do it this early. I'm just a weird one. But if you plan it, if you think, if you sit at home, you make a list of the things you want to give to the people you love, you think about them for a second, you think what they like, and you go to the shop, you think where you can buy that thing, and you go to that specific shop and you buy that thing. That's great. That's a great start, which is tough because we want to feel good. We want to do the retail therapy, So that's basically it's just acknowledging that we're doing this for us. We
Mm.
like the feeling of being able to buy a lot. We like the retail therapy. Our friends are not there with us. They're not seeing what we're buying. We like that feeling.
Even though we're not buying for
Even though
ourselves,
we're not buying
but
for
that
ourselves.
feeling
Yeah, but I
is
feel we're
very
still buying it,
precious.
like, yeah, it's very
Yeah.
bright, it's very colorful. It's just the car just going beep, 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 and it's for us. But
Mm.
if we are mindful about it and we still want to feel that good feeling, we have to look how can we help ourselves feel that without buying stuff. Like, that's our hobbies, that's a good talk with a friend, or that's, baking a festive cake or something that might help. But we have to be mindful that that's a thing. If we just go in autopilot, we know we're just gonna keep on buying it to feel good, but we don't have to buy it to feel good.
What do you think about asking your friends and family what exactly do they want?
I think that's great for people who don't like buying gifts. I mean that's fine, sure.
Mm.
I get a lot of questions to know how to know this, how to know that about the person, and my answer is always very simple. You should ask. Because I'm not gonna know what your mother wants. Your friend is not gonna know what your mother wants. Your mother knows what she wants. And if she doesn't want anything, that's usually the case. I don't want anything. Maybe you can give her your time because that's the most precious gift, right? I think asking and making a list, if it's difficult to come up with a present, because not everyone's creative, not everyone enjoys buying presents, right? I enjoy buying presents. It's nice, it's fun. I like thinking about people, but I'm a therapist, so I talk a lot with people. I get to know them. I make notes. So I actually make notes throughout the year what my friends want. But not all people are like that, and that's okay. I mean, asking is fine. If that's gonna make the other person happy and that's gonna make your life easier, perfect. Let's do that.
But we should also normalize it because
Absolutely.
usually you have to pick a present yourself, without asking. We're supposed to know what other people want. We're supposed to read their minds, but that's not true.
That's two
Simply
thinking arrows.
ask.
Yeah, we have to, and we're not supposed to. We don't have to. If we don't know, we ask, and that's gonna make us and the other person happier.
What would you say for people about decision making regarding the spending? About this financial pressure. It's very hard. Like, let's say, if I'm gonna buy a cheaper gift for my kid or my mother or I don't know, my friend. How to make that decision, how to allow yourself maybe I don't know, I need money, let's say, because I just got a new house and I need furniture, and this year I can't spend much on the gifts for others.
Right.
How to allow yourself, like what you would suggest here
Well,
for people who want to save up also, because it gets hard.
of course it does. Well, I
Yeah.
allow you already. You
Thank
you
you.
don't have to. You don't have to do this. But how to allow ourselves? Well, first of all, I would say think about it.
Mm.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay to be human. It's okay to save up. It's okay to buy a new house. It's okay to tell other people that I'm broke. I'm sorry, but I thought about you, so I made you this. Or I thought about you, but I don't have the money to buy you a gift right now. But if we want to hide how we are really feeling and we want to, mask it, that's when it
Mm.
gets tough. If we're honest about it, there is no problem. I mean, making a budget, it's crucial, during the festive season, it's crucial because, if we have a budget, then we know how much we can spend without overspending. And that's great. That's the best financial advice I can give you. I can't even give financial advice, but that's the one I give you, make a budget. It's okay.
Mm.
It doesn't make you less of a husband, wife,
Mm.
spouse, whatever, just because you have a budget on your gift. That's okay. I mean, that's very normal. And sometimes, maybe not sometimes, but now maybe social media makes us think like other people don't have budgets. They're just spending, anything on anything, and, the budget is limitless. But no, most of us have budgets, and that's normal. We're supposed to have a budget. It's just a month where you're supposed to buy so many. It's not like a birthday where you have to get one present. It's, depending on your family and your, group of friends, you have to get a lot of presents during those months. So it's okay to not have so much extra cash for all those gifts you might want to get. That's very normal.
All right. And for all the moms, let's say if I have budget which is tight, what should I say for my kid if he's expecting something big? Because it's also common, they write the letters for Santa, and I'm afraid of the tantrum as a mom, let's say. How to have this conversation? What would you suggest?
Oh, well, again, I'm going to repeat myself so many times.
All
Being
right.
honest, being honest is okay. I mean, it's
Mm.
okay. You have to teach your kids that it's okay to be honest. And the only way to do it is by talking to them. You don't have to tell them, I have 55, dollars in my bank account, so I can't get you this or that. That's not the way to be honest about this.
Mm.
But just explaining them, that it's not all about gifts, that, it's about feeling, and, that Santa is trying to make you feel happy, but not maybe he's not gonna get you the biggest gift on your list. Maybe he's gonna get a smaller gift on your list, but it's okay. It's not gonna make you less happy. Just talking with your kids. Kids are not gonna remember the gift. Kids are gonna remember the feeling. And you can make the feeling magical without spending too much. But you'll have to spend your time, right? Because everything has a price. And it's okay. They're gonna appreciate it a lot. They're gonna appreciate it greatly. And you made a comment before about decision making. Decision making is also work. I just want to emphasize on that. And sometimes we get very tired from decision making, and we don't know what hit us. So it's the decision making that hits us, because for our brain to decide, between few things, and it's tough, but deciding between a few hundred things is tougher. So that makes us tired as well. So if you need to make a decision, how to talk with your kid about a gift that's going to be smaller maybe than they want, or you need to make a decision, what's your budget is going to be like, how you're going to divide that budget, and you feel like you don't have the energy to do that now, rest and then make a decision. Because you might be too tired to make a decision, and that's just the brain works. Like it's not like I made it up, but no, that's the way our brain works. It gets tired from making the decision, and it's okay to rest and then make the decision. It's gonna be a lot easier in the morning, or during the day, or whenever you rest and wake up afterwards.
Thank you so much. And I think we can already go to the segment 4 of our podcast, which I called Post-Holiday Crash.
Right.
Because we just bought all the gifts, made all the decisions, learned how to set boundaries, maybe with our families and friends. Maybe we decided not to go somewhere because we want to rest, or so and so on. And and then this period passes. January comes, and statistically, January is the most, let's say, depressive month, right, in the year. And why do so many people feel low after the holiday? What happens?
Well, that's the wave of life. After something very high comes something very low, and that's very normal as well. Right? So if we have a lot of anticipation during the festive season that something very fun is about to happen, so we get a lot of dopamine. Hopefully, we get a lot of serotonin as well from being with our family. And then comes January, and we have nothing to look forward to, at least in close future. That hits hard a lot of people. Like as it's a new year, and again, a lot of thinking errors happen. Then I have to be this, and I have to do that, and I have to go to the gym, and I have to, and that makes it tough as well. And if we paid the price of overspending, not sleeping enough, not eating enough, then we pay the price in January, because that comes next. We pay the price with being tired. We pay the price, with sleeping more or not sleeping. Getting insomnia even though we're very sleepy. So that's just very normal way it's supposed to go. But of course, we can help ourselves to not make it a crash, but just make it a less festive season by taking care of ourselves, by resting enough, by maybe giving during festive season a gift of, something to look forward in January. Maybe tickets, or to a concert, or to a movie, to a museum. Maybe thinking of a new small tradition that we can do during January that we're looking forward to. Maybe making a mood board. Maybe we can think of it, making it in January. Like things like that. Something to look forward to. Something, because that month is also very cold. It's very dark, and it's normal to feel that you're slowing down, because you are slowing down, and it's okay to slow down.
Okay, so what would be that perfect healthy transition in your eyes as a therapist? From this massive highs, Christmas lights, buying everything, to what's next?
Well, yeah, perfect doesn't exist, but my advice would be, well, clean up your house, because you have to get the Christmas tree down and everything, but also clean up your mind, your email list, like your phone. Maybe follow back the people you unfollowed, maybe unfollow more people that, annoyed you. Just basically get ready for another year, to shine bright like a diamond, and set the soil, rest enough, sleep enough, drink enough water, just take care of yourself and get ready to go on with your life the way you want to go on with your life.
I liked how you said shine bright like a diamond for the next year, but at the same time, it's risky. Because with the New Year's comes a lot of resolutions, and we put ourselves into the position of I have to again.
Mm.
It's usually sports, gym, eating, healthy nutrition, right? Spending more time with family and friends. Maybe we have plans that cost a lot as well, like traveling somewhere next year or buying something big like a car or a house next year. And we put it into one day. Like we put it for the whole year, but we make these desires and resolutions in one day usually. That's crazy load of information for our brain.
It's crazy if we expect to get it done the next day.
Sometimes that happens, especially with sports.
Well, yeah, it does. But going to the gym on on January 2nd is okay. That's just humanly allowed. But 'cause, yeah, everyone hits the gym that day. But with resolutions are okay. I mean, it's a nice tradition. We can make those. We can think about the things we want to have. But resolutions is not the same as planning. That's not the same thing. Because when we plan something, when we really want to get it done, we have to think of a timeline, when we're gonna get it done. What steps we're going to take to get it done and things like that. So if we get a list of resolutions, that's just a list of our wishes. And that's okay. And then we wake up in January and then we think, okay, so what am I going to do about it? Which one thing I'm going to work on now? Because if we're talking about habits, we should start from one. We always start from the first step. Right? So if we pick the gym because we want to if we want to be more active, then we start thinking, okay, I want to be more active this year. That's a great resolution. How am I going to get it done? Am I going to start walking because I like walking? If you like walking, you should start walking more. If you like gym, maybe you can go to the gym more. Maybe you want to start a new Pilates class. Again, just sitting with yourself thinking, how do I want to do this? How do I want to get my goal of being more active this year done? Right? Because that's going to be very individual. If we just copy someone's resolution list and it says go to the gym and we just go to the gym, but we hate the gym and it's all like, oh my God, what am I doing in the gym? That's not great. I mean, it's just going to be, one or a few times that we're going to go there, but it's not going to last. The lasting goals is the ones when we think, what do I like? How do I like to get done? What's my wish? What I want to do about it. And if we make small measurable steps and we also think about timeline of when I'm going to get this done, that's how we get things done. Just writing them up in a huge list doesn't get things done. Sadly. I wish it did.
And also, I would add that before making New Year resolutions, you need to have conversation with yourself, not make Christmas resolutions that are just popular New Year resolutions. I meant New Year resolutions as, let's say, going to gym or buying something specific just because it's common, I know, on social media. Maybe me personally, I just want to spend more time with my dog. And for somebody else, it would sound stupid. But for me, it's very important. And yeah, because I know for myself, I have New Year resolutions usually, and they're usually very generic. And then I fail to do them because I didn't ask myself what I really want. If everybody's going to gym, I need to go to gym as well. But maybe I just wanted, yeah, as you said, just walk 5 kilometers per day in the park, let's say.
Don't copy paste your resolutions.
Yeah, that's very, very important.
And it's impossible to achieve a vague goal.
Oh yeah.
Because how do you achieve a vague goal? Because if my goal is to be a better person, what does that even mean? Right? So
and to be precise.
Yeah, if you're precise, if you're smart about it, if my goal is to play, I don't know, 3 times a week with my dog in the park, that's quite clear. And then I can say that I reached the goal or didn't I? Because most of the time we say we didn't reach the goal, but how did you measure? How do you know you didn't reach it?
Right? So it has to be measurable.
Yeah.
It has to come from inside. Like
it has to be specific.
Specific, right?
And time-based.
And time-based. Okay, this is great advice. And okay, what would you suggest for people who didn't listen to this, right? And put a big abstract list of big things that are hard to achieve, right? Let's say having a lean body and doing sports every second day, it's very hard. And so many people get gym memberships, let's say January 2nd already, and drops it on February or even earlier.
Oh yeah, that's
and they punish themselves.
Yeah,
I've been there myself.
But that's already another thing. That's the body image, eating disorders. That's another thing that's very important to know. That getting a goal of having a thinner body, it's not ideal for our mental health.
It's number one in your resolution in the world.
Yeah, I suppose so, because people believe that they're gonna be happier if they're thinner, which is the biggest lie we've been taught, because it's not true. You're not gonna be happier if you're thinner, right? But if you have a goal of, I don't know, doing 100 push-ups or doing 50 sit-ups, that's okay. I mean, that's fine. If that's the goal you have, you can work on that. But making yourself smaller to be happier, that by itself is already a flawed goal that would signify that even reaching it might cause you more mental strain than not reaching it.
So for everyone who is going to have New Year resolution for 2026 of being more fit, more lean, let's say, better, I don't know, have a goal for going to gym in January 3 times, or making, I don't know, 10 push-ups for starters.
Something that would be the first step and would make them feel good.
Yeah.
The resolutions are supposed to make you feel good. Are supposed to motivate you to move towards something. They're not supposed to make you feel very bad, or to be all wrapping you up in all that overthinking and everything. No, they're for you to know where you're going. So the direction we're going is supposed to make us fuller and happier, not otherwise.
Okay, thank you, Monika. And I think it's time to go to tips of how to grow stress resilience before the stressful season, what to do with stress during this stressful holiday season, and how to recover if we fried our brains a little bit, right? And me as a Pulsetto ambassador, I work with Pulsetto every day, right? I just really want to let our listeners know that it's a perfect tool, vagus nerve stimulation, right? To add to your routines before, during, and after this busy, stressful season. But I want to ask you, as a therapist, how do you see vagus nerve stimulation, right, in terms of managing stress?
Right. So our autonomous nervous system has two parts. So that's the sympathetic and the parasympathetic parts, right? So we either flight or fight, or we rest and digest. We cannot do both. That's the biggest myth. That's the biggest desire. We want to sleep and we want to work at the same time. So we cannot do both. And in order to do one, we have to also do the other. So if we wanna fight, we wanna get a lot of things done, we wanna conquer the world, buy all the gifts and cook and this and that, we need to learn to rest, right? Because we cannot do this empty on energy. And the way people rest is very different. Right? Because rest, it can be mental, it can be emotional, it can be physical, and it's very individual from a person to person. But one way to rest is to rest your body. So not your brain tells your body to rest, because that could happen as well, but your body tells your brain that I'm chill. Right? Because when we're stressed, I don't know, did you notice, but like before the podcast, for example, if you were nervous, our shoulders go up, we get very tense. Some people get pain in their neck or their hands are shaking. That's our body telling our brain, I'm very stressed. It's okay, but I'm just all over the place, right?
I was fidgeting.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
First time host.
Exactly. So that's our body telling our brain that it's tough. Yeah. And that's okay. Right? So sometimes what helps is letting our body relax so our mind could relax as well. And letting our body relax, that we can get done through various ways. That's where meditation comes in, relaxational techniques. That's the Pulsetto device also, because it's the same thing. For the same thing, that's our hobbies. That's, that's sleeping enough. That's doing the things where your mind just rests and we let our body chill. Because in order to get a lot of things done, we need to learn to rest. And I'm emphasizing on this because in our culture, it's very not obvious. Because when people ask, how can I get a lot of things done and not get burned out, they're usually not asking on rest tips. They're asking on productivity tips.
That's
right
true.
and that's tough. I mean, if you're productive and you want to be more productive during the time when you sleep less, you eat more sugar and you exercise less, that's if I would give advice on that would be very bad for your health, so that would not look so good on me, right? So my advice is learn to rest, and we all rest very differently, like because when I say the word meditation, a lot of people get an image of someone sitting on a cliff and like
And saying
and saying yeah, that's also a thing, or doing breath work, supposed to only happen in a certain condition and things like that. But no, rest can look very different. Meditation can be you washing your dishes. Like, for example, my husband, he really does meditate when washing the dishes. When he gets stressed, he washes the dishes more, which is perfect for me as well, of course. But I mean, that's I know his mind wanders off. He's just thinking about the dishes and he's just doing it. And that's okay. My meditation would be, going for a walk without music, without podcast, just in the silence, in the forest, right? To some people, it might be playing with their dog, but finding the thing that works for you. Right? Maybe some people do breath work. To some people, Pulsetto device is going to be of huge help. It's very individual, but it's very hard to tell, you're supposed to do this and that for you to rest. Because I've had a lot of clients who had very different methods on how they rest. Like some people find relaxational techniques best before bed. Some find it best before sports. And that's okay. I mean, it's just the way you want to chill.
It's crucial to plan them into your busy
Absolutely.
season of, let's say, Christmas and New Year weeks, because with rushing and doing so many things, we just postpone or rest, just like you said, to January.
Right.
But in January we already crashed.
Yeah. Maybe a good metaphor for this would be our devices, like our computers or our phones, because we're using our phones more during the season, to buy things online or to get all the work done, and we need to charge them more.
Oh yeah.
And we don't forget to charge them.
Every night.
Right? So the same with us, like don't forget to charge your phone that's inside you. You are the phone. Don't forget to charge yourself, because if you're going to charge your phone on time, everything is going to run smoothly. But if you don't charge your phone on time, it's just going to go flat. Same with you. Right? So not it's a very modern metaphor, but not forgetting to charge yourself as if you were a phone.
But it's easy to understand.
It's easy to understand, and I think it's easy for everyone to remember, did I charge myself or didn't I? And looking for the cues, because with the phone it just goes black, so that's easy to see. The screen goes dark, and that's it. But with ourselves, it's what are the signs that I'm already, discharged? Is it my body that's feeling tense? Do I have a headache? Is it my appetite that's changed? Is it my sleep pattern that's changed? What changed? We have to know that about ourselves to be able to recharge us,
And maybe you have, some piquant situations from your clientele. What situations you would suggest, let's say, during the holiday, on the heat of the moment, when you are visiting friends, family, etc.? Tell me at least one situation where Pulsetto device would be really beneficial, to relax your body so your mind can relax as well.
I would have to think about the situation, because, we just started working, so I didn't give it to my clients yet. But I think it would be about those moments where it's hard to relax otherwise. For example, if you have a busy schedule and you're driving to work or to a party, or not a party, maybe just, gathering with your friends, and you're on a bus and you feel very tense because your day was intense. Right? Because sometimes we forget that if the day was intense and we didn't rest, it's hard to carry on into the evening, right? We want our body to be ready just because it's fun. But we forget that our body needs energy to have fun as well, right? So just before the fun, we might use, the Pulsetto device to reset after the work, for example. Or if we had a tough night, well, as a mother of a small baby,
Oh yeah.
we have those. We love those. If you had a tough night, but you still want to be gentle with your kid, and maybe you're not gonna have a lot of time to sleep during the day. That's a good way to start your day. Just using the Pulsetto to relax, because it's easy to say that you should relax, but it's hard to get
Mm,
done, right? So to some people, that would be beneficial, as a
mm,
help to let them relax. It's not going to be useful to all people, of course. Nothing works for all of us, but to some people, it might be very beneficial, to get them into that mode of relaxing, even, like sometimes
mm.
when we're running a lot, it's hard to stop and relax, and this could be a perfect way to stop and remind ourselves, oh yeah, that's the relaxing time.
Especially when it's something physical you have to do to put on, turn it on, doing it as a ritual for me at least, also already relaxing.
Yeah.
Not only vagus nerve stimulation, but also the whole process that comes with it.
And you listen to the music, which
Yeah, and I
relaxing.
have a funny one.
Okay.
Last year I didn't use Pulsetto yet. I just started to work with Pulsetto this year, but I usually used to go, in the meetings with my family. Everybody's very loud, very opinionated, and sometimes by the table, topics of politics or religion or something, very sensitive arises, and I just wanna hide. And I used to go to the toilet. I sit down, in a silence and just scroll TikToks or something like that, just block my brain from everything and I recharge that way. I come back in 10 minutes, I feel calmer. They also already calmer or just topic just has ended, and I just come back to the table to conversation. And I think I will use this with the Pulsetto now. Not just give myself a 5-minute break when things is during the gathering start to get tense.
Well, but the difference between you scrolling TikTok and using a Pulsetto would be that scrolling TikTok is avoiding emotion.
Yeah.
It's not recharging. It's just avoiding, and you're getting a dopamine because you avoided the unpleasant.
Yeah.
And with the Pulsetto, relaxation, meditation, and breath work, anything you can get done in 5 minutes, you're actually gonna recharge your body. So even if the situation has not solved itself when you come back, you're gonna be more ready to endure it. So that's the big difference. No, it's okay to avoid emotions sometimes. I'm not saying you have to feel all your emotions all the time. Of course, no, it's okay. But if you want to really recharge, then that's going to be the difference between you scrolling and you using the device.
So it's a
breathwork or
perfect
something.
gift for yourself, actually, especially when you are in tough situations, not necessarily during holiday season, right?
Well, yeah, it's if you're up for it, if you can, allow yourself to buy it, that could be a perfect gift. But if you can't, the perfect gift would be to give yourself those 5 minutes to recharge.
Yes.
That's the perfect
first thing.
Yeah, that's the perfect allowing yourself to go there and be there with yourself for 5 minutes. That's the perfect gift we can really all give ourselves.
Okay. Monika, last question for you before ending. If listeners remember one idea from today's episode, what should it be?
Hmm. Yeah, as I told you before, I really don't like this question. But if I'm just saying it spontaneously, it would be just let you be you. Let's all allow ourselves to be authentic selves. Let's make our Christmas about us. Let's make our Christmas about our families. Let's make them the way we like to make them. Let's make the festive season about our feelings, about our emotions. Let's feel it out. Let's let ourselves be us the way we really are. Let's not try to copy other people's lives.
Thank you, Marika, so much for coming to Pulsetto podcast. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna take some tips myself to this season, to this holiday season. And to our listeners, let's meet on the third episode. And feel free to write in the comments what topics you want us to talk about. We are up for inviting highly educated professionals, specialists, and talk about anything mental health, anything wellness, anything physical health, and include more information on vagus nerve stimulation and Pulsetto. Bye.
Well, thank you for having me. Bye.
Bye, Monika.